The sickest video on earth, 1994. It's about as pointless as a Mia Khalifa OnlyFans. I'm gonna tell you why, and it's for multiple reasons. Number one, it's incredibly easy to find, just like a normal content. Just go into Google, punch the name, and it's gonna come right up. And if you punch the name in and it doesn't come up, I don't know what to tell you. It's about as easy to find as a cloud. Literally, look it up. Stupid joke. I hope that goes over people's heads. But my point is, there's also mixtapes out there that cover the same essence, the same topics, and have very, very similar clips and the same clips, but go way off on the deep end, like How to Clear a Room, Mdpope, and this has been dubbed like Mdpope Zero, the predecessor to Mdpope, because it came out 10 years before Mdpope. I mean, this shit dropped before the Twin Towers, plus it has the same clips, but Mdpope took some of those clips and just went way farther off the deep end. I mean, jumped off the cliff and landed on its head. So some things that it has in common would be like the anal birth of Bert. If you don't know what that is, a guy grabs a Bert doll and he swallows it backwards and gives birth to it and starts holding it like it's his own while he's surrounded by a whole bunch of rough and tumble bikers inside of one of those chain swings. Has hardcore BDSM with his whips, flails, there's chains, there's dog walking, there's gagging, there's hair pulling, there's choking. If you name it, it's there. There's cages, if I didn't say that already. And then there's guys who are very skilled carpenters, but they're using nails and hammers not to build things, but to smash things. By smashing things, I mean themselves. Yeah, it gets pretty sick inside this mixtape. But again, it does not cover anything that isn't already out there. And inside of mixtapes that are way, way worse. But again, those mixtapes came out way further after. Again, Mdpope 2013, 2014, 2015. This came out in 2001, even though it says 1994, and I'm gonna go over how I can prove this. Now, on top of that, there's also Squirmfest in here. If you don't know what Squirmfest is, Guso Milk is kind of like Merle Dixon. Squirmfest is like Daryl Dixon, just for a Walking Dead reference, because I love Walking Dead. And, Merle Dixon, way more hardcore, way more worse, way more crazier. And then, you got Daryl Dixon, nowhere near as bad. And, speaking of Walking Dead, I'm literally Shane from The Walking Dead. I've been saying that on Twitter. I've been saying it on Instagram. I've been saying it on Discord. I'm literally Shane from The Walking Dead. I take that title. Didn't he assault women? I'm literally Shane from The Walking Dead. I know what I said. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into this. Make sure you like and subscribe. That helps me out so much. It helps me out a lot. I will grab each and every single one of you people and kiss you on the mouth. 50% of you aren't subscribed. Go ahead and hit that sub button. Check out my Patreon. There's exclusive content, early access content. There's a Discord for patrons, a Discord link that will be changed like every few days. Just so it doesn't spread around too crazy. 18 plus Discord. I also have polls on Patreon and a whole bunch of other stuff, updates, all that good shit. Check it out. And with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the history lesson of this. Now, what year did it come out? 2001, believe it or not. How can you prove this? Well, because there's a lot of articles and sources saying 2001, but it couldn't have come out in 1994 because there were autopsy pictures of Tupac Shakur. And I'm a huge rap head. I believe Tupac died September 13th, 1996. I know the year. I'm not sure if it's September 13th, but I'm a huge rap head. Again, March 9th, 97 for Big. February 7th, 2000 for Big Pun. I'm a huge rap head, so I would know. So how the fuck could this be made in 1994 if Pac didn't die till 2 years after the fact? Plus there's other things in there from like the year 2000 and 1999, which would make no sense on how it would be in this mixtape. But this came out 7 to 8 years prior. Makes no sense. Who was it by? Andrew Kopp. This guy has quoted on making this mixtape saying that he regrets making it, blah, blah, blah. So we're just going to give him the credit that he so rightfully doesn't want. Also, he passed away, I believe, 10 years ago. So rest in peace, him. How long is it? Pause. Almost 2 hours. Almost 2 hours. It's 1 hour, 50 minutes, and 20 seconds. And there's 184 clips. Now, most of these clips, again, comprise of violence, gore, and there's scat in here. We're going to go over that. It's because of Squirmfest. So, literally, with that shit being said, let's take out the motherfucking whiteboard. So before I go over the whiteboard, there is a clip in here so horrendous, I had to make a brand new category, which we're going to leave that for last. So out of these 184 clips, 121 of them are gore. We already know what gore is: intestines, brains, lungs, heart, a huge amount of just human splatter. 24 clips are violence, you know, people getting knocked over their head, people getting punched in the face, people falling over, and it is just violent, but not quite gore. 16 clips are sexual. That would just mean anything with sexual themes like BDSM, as we've seen before. 8 include animals, and by animals, people being attacked by animals or just roadkill. 5 clips that are what the fuck. Something you see and all you can just muster up is a what the fuck. Sadly, there's 4 scat clips here, all being comprised of just Squirm Fest. 2 clips that are gross, which also comes from courtesy of Squirm Fest, eating bugs. Fucking gross. 2 clips that are just cringe-worthy shit. Like at the absolute end, there's like some car salesman thing. It's just absolute cringe. 1 clip that was funny. I got a huckle, ha ha ha. You know, a little bit funny. Tickled my fancy. And then 1 clip that is pure insanity. Courtesy of your guy G.G. Allen. He is so insane, I had to make a new category to separate him from the rest of the mixtape. So with that being said, let's jump right into the review. The Sickest Video on Earth 1994. There's about 6 pages of content to go over, and I gotta say I am so happy to go over brand new, fresh content, clips I've never seen before. This is so exciting, it's invigorating. After going over 6 volumes of Ogrish Collection, and YNC starting to, you know, follow that same exact suit, that pattern of just the same shit rehashed. It's just nice. It's a breath of fresh air. It's a glass of fresh water to go over things I've never seen before. Now, don't get me wrong. It does fall under that umbrella of, you know, extreme BDSM. And it does have similar clips and sometimes the same clips as Mdpope. But most of this is fresh, new material I get to go over and get brand new commentary on. So, thank God. So, with that shit being said, we're going to take it from the top and jump right into it. So this mixtape opens up with a skull intro that sits there for about 45 seconds to a minute straight. Now when that happens, it says, what are these people laughing at? Then it shows a man get his hand and his foot cut off for stealing a television. So I guess we could say it costed him an arm and a leg. Okay, all stupidity aside. He didn't steal the shit. And you're probably like, what do you mean he didn't steal it? Let's be honest, if you found out that he stole it, you took it back, so therefore he borrowed the shit. You know what I'm saying? You took it back, so he borrowed it. And for him borrowing it, you cut off his foot and his hand. Seems like a pretty uneven fucking trade if you ask me. So he got this shit for 1 day and a half. And even at that, you know it wasn't a good television. It wasn't like a Toshiba or Samsung television. Does Toshiba make televisions? They do now because I said so. But it wasn't like a big flat screen. It's probably one of those jukebox fucking televisions where you crank it on the side. One of these old ass ones like 1993, 94. Because that's when this clip was from. Absolutely sucks. After this, you get a squished gore head where someone's head is squished. And then you get It's Coming Down by Danzig. This guy looks like a young ass John Travolta. And he plays rock music as you'd expect. And he's like heavy metal. I'm not huge into rock. I'm a huge rap head. I know a lot about rock, but I'm just not that diverse when I'm jumping into it head first. And then it plays footage like extreme BDSM, which I always thought BDSM is fucking stupid as shit. And I'm about to explain why. And I want somebody to argue with me in the comment section about this. I'm about to make you like a fucking fool. With BDSM, people use whips, chains, flails, gags, and all this other shit, right? So you're gagging a woman, but you just don't want to use your hands. You have to buy an object to do that. You have an object to pull her hair when you can just pull her hair with your hand. You're grabbing an object to choke her when you can just choke her with your hand. You're grabbing a paddle. You're buying a paddle to spank her when you can spank her with your hand and actually feel her ass with your palm and squeeze it and jiggle that shit. You see how stupid you fucking look? What is wrong with you? Are you that incapable? Are you that incompetent? Do you lack any fucking hair on your chest? Because you always see these guys that are into BDSM got very small dicks and have like no fucking body hair. Always these scrawny fucking little beta boys over there like, hey lady, I know my dick is small, but I bought this 7-inch dildo for you. I hope you like it. Always these fucking dorky little fucking dudes. Always the fucking dudes. And some big Puerto Rican with some hair on his chest gotta come over here with my fucking horse cock and I gotta fuck her. Because you can't. You're not up to snuff. You can't fucking do it. And you're sitting here with your little toolbox. What the fuck is this? Like a chick's laying on your bed. She's naked. She wants you to fuck her. Like, wait, baby. Hold on. Let me open up my fucking locker. Oh, yeah. We're going to grab an axle. We're going to grab a wrench. What are you, fixing a car? You're fucking a bitch. You're like a fucking dork here. Seriously? What are you going to do when you have a one-night stand? You go to a bar. Meet this cute chick, and she's down to fuck, right? Wait, baby, going to a hotel sounds pretty stupid. We should come back to my place because I have a $17,000 fucking sex swing. You sound like an idiot. You could have used that money to get a fucking car, but you're so incompetent you forget you have fucking Las Manos. Fucking dorks, man. Absolutely stupid. Always thought BDSM was dumb. And on top of that, they end with pissing on a camera. It's like this guy, which again, everybody who participates in BDSM, it's just a rabbit hole that gets deeper and deeper. And you start off with a little bit of choking with the little object, a little bit of spanking, a little bit of flails. And out of nowhere, you're just eating logs of shit. It's disgusting. It always ends that way. It always ends that way. After that, go ahead, argue with me in the comments. You're going to fucking lose. After that, you get this couple that dismember a man. Right? And when they do this shit, it plays some eerie fucking music. Very eerie music. This music is almost like you're in an abandoned building and everything's dark and you gotta feel your way around it and you keep hearing footsteps in the distance. I mean, this music gave me fucking geesebumps. Yes, geesebumps, not goosebumps. Because goose means one. Do you have one gigantic fucking lump on your arm when you get scared, or you get a whole bunch of small ones? You get geesebumps, okay? And when that happens, they kill this fucking dude, right? They cut him up into pieces. And when I say pieces, they start sticking his middle finger up his nose, his foot in his mouth, and a whole bunch of other shit. They damn near make a coffee table out of him. They take pictures of this shit, which is how I was able to see it. They then go and get it developed, because this happened in the 80s. A photo development place to get these photos developed of what they just did to this man. What do you think was going to happen? You know they have to see the photos when they get developed, so I can only imagine the guy's like, yeah, your photo's gonna be done in another, let's say 2 to 3. Holy shit! And he just sees this guy like this with his fucking head decapitated, and you holding it like it's fucking insane shit. And on top of that, what are you gonna do with those photos, right? You're gonna sit there and put it in a photo album, so you invite your friends and your family, like, hey guys, this is our first Christmas together. It's our first Halloween. This one was our first Easter. Oh, this one was our first murder. Look what we did to this guy. You insane or what? So the cops came over there and arrested both of these fucking nut jobs. What'd you expect was gonna happen? You're both fucking nuts. And you know how this always happens. Anytime a man murders somebody with a woman, the woman always says some shit like, he talked me into it. It was his idea. It was his plan. Listen, lady. If someone could convince you to turn a fucking man into a Jenga tower, chances are that beast was in you, rattling that cage, waiting to get out. And once it got out, you let hell get all loose. After that, you get a guy who shoots himself in the head. And he's on a kitchen floor and he's dead. And then you get a knee slide action grip dick lick, and he grabs a handful of feces and mashes himself in the head. And you wonder why people don't like G.G. Allen that much. I'm dead fucking serious. So here's what happens. You get what's called a G.G. Allen concert. And this is no normal concert. You get this crazy ass bearded man, right? Goateed man, actually. And he's on a stage just doing everything except having a fucking concert. He's on the floor and everybody's cheering. There's about 100 people in this like little stadium, little house. And he's like acting like a roach that just got sprayed with fucking Raid on his back, and he starts pissing and shitting and smearing himself with it. Then he crawls on his knees, starts sucking his guitarist's dick. His guitarist is wearing nothing but like boots and a jacket, and this guy's wearing nothing but boots. And he starts sucking his own guitarist's dick, and his guitarist like rubbing his bald head, and he starts hitting himself in the head with the microphone till he's bleeding. Mind you, he's covered in shit too, and his own piss. And then he just starts grabbing the microphone, the thick part, you know, the part that you speak into, so drilling himself in a shit crack with it. And it's like, this is just, it's mayhem. It's mayhem. And he's the one that's not locked up. It was me that was locked up, because I got a little homicidal. You know, I think it's a little stupid, right? I made a oopsie daisy and I got locked up. This guy's doing this shit in a crowd of 100 people, and at no point it occurred to anybody to put him in a straitjacket. As a matter of fact, he's getting cheered. And even worse, here's what the icing on the cake. The people in the crowd are like, yo, come on, shake my hand. And they are shaking this man's hand, dapping him up, while he's covered in piss, shit, blood, every single fluid in the human body, probably semen too, I'm not sure. And they're like, I'm never gonna wash my hand again. Yeah, because you should fucking amputate it, that's why. And then after that, he starts eating some mid chick. This chick is mid as fuck. He starts eating her pussy like a man, which is not a compliment, right? Because I learned how to eat pussy from a lesbo, and I'm gonna tell you what happened with this story. There was a girl named Cassandra. I knew her for a couple of years. I had a huge crush on her. And when I went to go ask her out, Her girlfriend came up to her and kissed her on the mouth while I'm in the middle shooting my shot. And I'm like, no. Do it again. No. One more time. No. I'm dead fucking serious. It sucked to suck. But anyway, I kind of was like, you know what? Fuck it. We kept talking. And over time, I kind of convinced her to let me eat her fucking snatch out. And she taught me that I eat pussy. And she was like telling me how to work it this way and work it that way. And I'm going to share that information. So the way to do it is, I'm not going to tell you because I'm a gatekeeper. Fuck you. But anyway, what was cool about this is her friend, her girlfriend, didn't even care because she said it wasn't cheating because I'm a man. Thought that was dope. Even though her girlfriend hated my guts. I remember at a point, she was fixing me up, right? So she's sitting there topping me off after I was done topping her off. I'm like, yo, you want to join? She's like, no. I was like, oh, okay. At least I asked, you know? It's fucking cool, though. I can't believe it. That was the craziest shit that's ever happened in my life. But next page. After that, you get this guy who farts another man's face. And this guy is slumped the fuck out. He is catching Z's, Y's, and X's. He's sleeping on like a lazy boy. Got drool coming down his chin. This other dude pulls out his bare ass. I mean, ass cheeks and everything. I mean, his pants are down to his knees. And he farts, just rips it right in his face. And he wakes up because he knows what he smelled. And that's just about that clip. After this, you get a chick with fake balloon tits. And when I mean fake balloon tits, I don't mean like she has implants. Like, you know, the gel implants. I mean, they're like, almost like she got balloons that was shaped like tits, and they had a strap at the back that she put on. They're gigantic. It's like they're filled with air. Take that shit with you, sell on eBay for $12.99. I'm filled with air. Oh, that one's for $1.99. And she just shakes them left and right, left and right. That was chicken soup I ate earlier. After this, you get an elephant that sticks his entire trunk up another elephant's ass, pulls out a bowling ball worth of shit, and just tucks it in his cheek like a jawbreaker from Ed, Edd and Eddy. Absolutely disgusting. You got all the white people in the zoo going crazy, like, oh my god, somebody do something. They're animals. What else do you think they're gonna do? I remember this one video where two gorillas were fighting. This white woman's like, somebody call a zookeeper. What the fuck is he gonna do? There's about 2,000 pounds of primate in a primal fight. What are you supposed to do? Just be, hey guys, knock it off, knock it off. Hey, go back in your corner. You go in your room. So get ripped in fucking half. They're gonna turn him into a jump rope and start skipping him around. This guy's about like 100. Even if I go in there, I'm 200 pounds. If I go in there in a gorilla exhibit with two like 800-pound gorillas, what the fuck do you think's gonna happen to me? What do you think that I'm just gonna just beat up the gorillas? That's it. I'm just gonna beat them up. Even though gorillas can naturally bench press like 1,500 pounds, they'll fucking like one of those cartoons and just zoom me the fuck out of there if they don't rip my head off. Absolutely stupid. After that, you get a guy who's mangled in half, and everybody's just standing around there looking at him like, yep. That's what a mangled guy looks like. You see that? That's a mangled guy if I ever seen one. Like, they're looking at him like they bought tickets to fucking see him. The incredible mangled man. What is this shit, you know? They just stand there and just keep staring. After this, you get this weak-ass music. Weak-ass music video. If you thought that fucking Danzig music video was weak, this shit's even weaker. This one's fucking dorky as fuck. So you get this guy. He's at the forefront. Little fucking fragile sapien of a man. He's victim weight. Probably 96.5 pounds if he was holding 90 pounds in his motherfucking arms. But if he was holding 90 pounds in his arms, this shit would snap. And you know he works at Burger King for 40 hours a week just to get that check. And this is what makes him weak. He grabs that Burger King check and he starts giving it to people, women specifically. So in his music video, he can like roleplay assaulting them in sexual manners. This is stupid. So fucking stupid. And you know, you just look at the guy and you're like, dude, if you tried to assault a woman, she would fuck you up. I'm talking about the ittiest bitty of a woman. If you tried to assault some 4'8", 100-pound Latina, she would probably knock his chin through the fucking roof. I'm not even talking about, you haven't seen them white girls, man. Some of them white girls be like 5'8", 5'9". White bitches can get big, yo. Like 160 pound, fucking 150 pound, 5'8", 5'9" bitch, yo. Then fucking southern girls, she knock that motherfucker out, yo. Kill him. Kill him. Kill him with a punch. I ain't talking about that. Just the smallest California girl you can think of, but just whoop his ass. And he's sitting there just like, you know, having to pay chicks to keep him in line to make sure they don't fight back in this weak-ass little music video. I'm not even going to tell you what the music video was called, just so, just to keep it in that dark corner. You know, just no light. We're not shining light over there. Already talked about it. Then you get what's known as The Adventures of a Dead Rabbit. What is the show? A dead rabbit. Got a chuckle out of me because I thought it was going to be like a play or a cartoon. It's just pictures of roadkill. And I was like, you fucking kidding me? It kind of felt like I got Rick rolled. You know, I was like, you serious? After that, you get a guy who gets dick surgery. And what I mean by dick surgery, he's sitting back, right? and he's going to a surgeon, and the surgeon's cutting him open and extending the length of his dingle danga. And when he's doing this, he's like, oh, hopefully it's not too much scar tissue. Hopefully you can heal up correctly. I didn't know guys can get dick extension surgery. But one thing I will give advice to guys about is if you eat right and you have a good diet and you exercise, your dick will grow in size, because it's called a spongy muscle, which means it fills up with blood, and the more blood you can fill in there, the bigger it'll get, right? So check this out. If you do things that make your blood flow better, like you eat more fruits and more vegetables, you drink more water, and you exercise, and you have less body fat, you'll naturally increase the size of your dick. It is down to genetics, don't get me wrong. I mean, again, when I was fat as shit, my dick was like 7 inches. Now that I'm ripped and lean, I have so much dick, I don't even know what to do with it. You know what I'm saying? I have a big dick, so if any of you guys want some dick, just hit me up and I'll give you some dick. Wait, hold on, wait, hold on. Time out. I don't mean it like that. I don't mean it like that. Next clip. Pause, next clip. After that, you get a guy who gets his nuts tornado twisted, okay? He gets a testicular tornado twist. This woman grabs his nuts. She fucking twists them. She turns them. She wrenches them and she cranks them, okay? She turns them, not into like a 5 to like 10, 3, 6. He just keeps twisting his nuts. Till like there's like 10 inches of string just tying them off. And they're turning purple. And she fucks his balls. Just jams in herself and starts riding them. And she just stuffs herself with them. And that's pretty much that clip. Then it shows a guy get hit by a race car, a NASCAR, 4 times. It just plays it over and over and over and over again. Then it shows a guy whose head explodes 20 times. Like, it's just like 20 times of just this. It's a fake clip. It's like a news anchor, some shit. His head explodes. I think it's from some movie or some shit. Then after that, it shows a family like trying to cross a lake. This happened in the 80s or 90s. I forgot. It showed it at the bottom. And there was a helicopter that had a spotlight on them. So this was fucked up. So it's like, okay, we're going to come and get you, family of 4. Just keep crossing this river. Oh, God, I'm losing control. And then the helicopter that tried to save this family. I'm not sure if this is real or fake. The helicopter's blades and just mash up this family, man, that were trying to cross the lake. So good job on helping the family, genius. God, man. Then after this, you get a compilation of derby races. Derbies are not like NASCARs, which is gigantic thing. It's just like a little derby, and these derbies are crashing and hitting people into the crowd. I think derbies are fucking cool, especially soapbox races where like their cars are made out of soapboxes and then they explode and destroy. But again, these people don't get hurt. They get hurt, but they don't get like, how do I say? They don't die. They like make these wooden little cars with like SpongeBob inspired, and then they crash and they flip and they smack their heads and they roll down. Funny ass shit, but they're not too hurt, so that's always the good part. We don't want people getting too hurt. You break a bone or two, it's funny. You smack your head on the floor, it's funny. You start seizing out, and it's kind of like, oh God, guys, call the cops. It's not funny anymore. Alright, it's a little wind chuckle. It's still a little chuckly. But like, damn, boy, you good? Get some wagwa. Camera cut off, but we are back. After this, you get a chick who's hung by her tits, right? And there's like some warlord executioner over here. This is weird shit. Again, this BDSM shit that's just so stupid. So stupid. I'm not saying to be vanilla. Because being vanilla, like, I hate it when people have this idea of vanilla. Like, vanilla just doesn't mean fucking missionary and that's it. Like, I think the biggest problem is 99% of men in the world don't know how to fuck. And 99% of the women in the world have not been fucked by a man who know how to fuck. So when they think of vanilla, they just think of some guy like, just missionary, just some little dork where he's like, bend over, baby. And starts hitting it from the back and he's like, oh, I just touched booty. You guys are fucking dorks. So it's like, one for another. You got this asshole and you're a jerk yourself. I just can't believe it. Again, vanilla is like this weird idea where it's just missionary and some dorky fucking dude. Like, most of you guys just don't know how to lay it into a bitch. If you ain't fucking a bitch so hard that your back hurts the next day and you motherfucking have bruises on your pelvis, then you ain't doing it right. I'm just gonna keep it like that. Then you get this wheelchair shit face where there's a girl there. I think it's a chick. And it's like cut out, and she's in a wheelchair. I believe it's a chick again. I can't remember. I'm going off the top of my head. And there's a guy under her like this, and the wheelchair is cut out, and you already know what's happening. Okay, you heard the title of it. She starts shitting in his fucking face, and he starts taking it all. Then he just stands up and he's like, like you're covered in it. It's done. It's it. Just fucking let it be. After this, you get this annoying ass music video. This Mixtape, now that I'm looking back at it, it's just filled with some really egregious music videos. It's just a whole bunch of flashing lights. It's a fucking seizure procedure. Okay, just flashing lights everywhere. There's really nothing you can make out here. Then you get Squirm Fest, which is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. So Squirm Fest, this chick is like drinking like a liquid, I think it's like milk or some shit, and she's like, something's weird. I can't quite put my finger on it, and there's worms coming out of her fucking mouth. Oh, there's something off, is there? Then she's eating like biscuits, and she's like, yeah, I don't know. Today's different than other days, a little bit unnatural, as I'd say. And there's fucking maggots all over the biscuits. And here's the part that gets me. It's so unnatural and so weird that she literally licks the fucking plate clean that had maggots on it. Okay? What are we going on about? So it clearly can't be that much of a weird fucking day if you're just cleaning up the whole entire place like a dog. It was stupid. The bitch gibble gabbled, ate the whole entire thing, not a bite left, sucked the crumbs off her finger, and she's gonna pretend like this is weird. It's clearly not. But again, I know it's for the movie, but I just think that the acting was horrible. After this, you get this wood penis imprint, man, which makes no sense. Like a wooden thing like this, but is a dick imprint. Which makes no sense because every man knows you never have the same erection twice. Because some days you're feeling off, some days you're feeling better, some days you had a good diet, some days you went without eating. You'll never have the same erection twice in your life. We all know that. But this guy has like this wooden thing, so it's wood, and he lays his wood on wood to beat it with a stick of wood. And when he's doing this, it starts showing pictures of a brunette woman. I think she's blonde, and then she turns brunette. It's just weird shit. He just keeps fucking hitting himself in the balls with it. And that's pretty much the clip. After this, you get, I talked about this clip like years ago. I believe it was in Fetus Munches, where this woman's breastfeeding puppies. She's using her puppies to feed puppies because in tribal ways, tribes see dogs as like family. We say we see them as family, but like, you know, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you're my dog and I love you. But if worse comes to worse and I need something to eat, you're just kind of like emergency food. No offense, buddy. But you got some ribs and I got some belly. You know, that's just what it is. But these people over here, they take care of them like they're their own babies. And they'll breastfeed them and they'll nurture them and do all this crazy shit. So it's weird for us, but that's natural life to them. They see tribes, man. And again, I come from a tribal background. I come from Jayuya, Puerto Rico. And I come from Taínos, which hopefully we wasn't doing that. I hope not. You know, but what the fuck? I don't know. I'll just have to ask. I'll never find out. I just remembered all my grandparents are dead. That sucks. Anyway, I thought about it. Yeah, all my grandparents are dead. Rest in peace. After that, you get SPK, which is this weird thing with a bunch of decapitated heads, right? And shit, now that I'm thinking about it, I gotta find out. I gotta go see if I can just contact some family in Puerto Rico. But I don't think they even have phones because my family's from the mountains, man, with there's goats and scorpions and spiders and shit. I remember they were like, you should come to Puerto Rico. I was like, hey, what's up there? I'm sitting there playing my PlayStation 2. Yeah, we have scorpions. Fuck you. Click. I'm fucking sitting there just gonna get bit by like a fucking black widow and just have a seizure in the woods and shit because I just try to eat a guava. Fuck you, I ain't doing that. SPK anyway. It's like a bunch of decapitated heads. I think this is fake. I'm not sure if it's fake or real. But I'm pretty sure it's like a morgue. And he's grabbing like the decapitated head and making him top him off. Weird ass fucking shit. Then you get Tupac's autopsy, which is what I was talking about, and how this couldn't be made in 1994, had to be made in 1996 and therefore after, because Tupac's autopsy didn't die till 1996, and it shows his autopsies. That's it. Nothing too crazy. Then we get more Squirm Fest, and it shows this woman shitting while she's playing a piano, which the part of this clip that really bothers me is how talented she is. She's really good at the piano. She's really good. She's better at the piano than I am at Call of Duty. She's really fucking good. Talented even. There was points where I was just like closing my ears and I was listening. And then I just opened my eyes back up and then she's just shitting into like a plate. And I'm like, oh, well, there you go. You know, sadly her talents ain't make it. I think they're probably paying for her lessons with whatever money they make off that scat movie. After this, you get flashing images, which again, this bothered the shit out of me. I don't like flashing images. They piss me off. It's just annoying and disturbing, you know? It's not disturbing as in like I'm like, oh, it disturbs me, like it riles me up because it's stupid. It's just like it's annoying. That's what it is. It's fucking annoying. When someone flashes images on a screen, it's almost like if someone comes up behind you and just grabs your ear and just rings it, you know, just grabs your ear and wiggles it, or like yanks you by your ear, or smacks you behind the head, or flicks your ear. It's just annoying. You just piss me off. And that's what flashing images are to me. And it's just showing random shit on the screen. A woman getting covered in random shit. You can't really tell what it is. And then you get this. You're looking at what I'm looking at, right? Who the fuck shits in his toilet? SpongeBob SquareAss? what the fuck kind of toilet is this? I've never seen a square toilet in my fucking life. And then this guy puts Godzilla, a toy Godzilla, not the real fucking Godzilla, he wouldn't fit in a toilet, puts a toy Godzilla in here with like attached like a string or a zip tie, so it's flushing Godzilla down the toilet, but he doesn't go down the drain because he's too big. And then he makes what's called Pornozilla, and we're gonna go over what the fuck that is. So Pornozilla is Gigan from Godzilla fucking Godzilla in his ass, and then he reverses him. And then King Ghidorah starts giving them both head. And again, I know a lot about Godzilla. I'm a huge Godzilla nerd. Mothra, Batra, King Ghidorah, Gigan, Mogira, Mechagodzilla, Space Godzilla, King Caesar's one of my favorites. I'm sorry, I'm a Godzilla nerd, so I know these characters. So I'm sitting here. You can imagine how appalled I am when I'm watching Gigan just take Godzilla from the behind, especially with a buzzsaw for a stomach. It's weird shit. Then it's Gigan is like giving it to Godzilla. And then Godzilla's giving it to a pink brontosaurus? What the fuck even is this? A pink brontosaurus? That's not a Godzilla character. Where did this even come from? It looks like a mascot for strawberry milk. What the fuck kind of... What is that? Where did that even come from? That's not a Godzilla character. Trust me. That's not. I don't know what that is. A pink brontosaurus. And then King Ghidorah starts sucking like a dragon. Just a generic dragon. Like, just imagine dragon. Just the most generic dragon toy I've ever seen. Like, you got it out of like a fucking kids meal in McDonald's back in the day. Or like a Wendy's kids meal. And like Gigan's like deep throating a dragon's tail. Weird shit. Again, and you know this was made by a grown ass man. Okay? Grown ass man playing with his little toys. And at a point, Godzilla starts giving it to Barbie. I don't know. So you get Godzilla who starts just straight up breaking Barbie's back. And then gives her like radioactive cummy wummies. And then Gigan shows up and just starts taking a spin on both of them. It's just, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? What a weird fantasy. Like, my fantasy was like, yo, imagine if, like, Goku was in, like, Call of Duty Zombies and Goku had a ray gun. Oh, no, Goku has a ray gun. That's my fantasy. What if Super Saiyan 4 Goku fought Super Saiyan Blue Goku? That's my fantasy. Not Godzilla fucking Barbie, I'll tell you that much. Weird, man. Weird fucking people. After this, a woman gets attacked by an octopus. There's just an octopus on her head, and she's like, and throws the shit off. Then you get an in-bed circumcision. Not inbred, in bed. This guy's in bed, grown-ass man. And he gets circumcised, starts bleeding everywhere. And he just, like, sleeps it off, which, again, circumcisions are so stupid. Circumcisions is the most, like, it's the dumbest thing you can do to a child. That is so, in my opinion, it's barbaric as fuck, because they don't use anesthetics. Take that shit with you, son, eBay for like $2.99. But here's what makes it so barbaric. First off, oh, the kid won't remember the pain. That doesn't mean the kid isn't going through the pain now. You know what I'm saying? So it's incredibly barbaric. And two, why would you ever want one? Did you know when you get your foreskin cut off, it's like millions of nerve endings that you're getting cut off? This is why anytime a guy who's ever been circumcised has sex, he probably doesn't even moan. You know, he's probably just like, yeah, that's pretty good there, lady. It's pretty, because you just cut off half his fucking nerve endings on his dick. It's all scar tissue. It's dumb. And why would you want your penis head exposed to the outworld? Why would you want it? It's supposed to be tucked away in skin, so it's not exposed. It's not supposed to be exposed, so it doesn't dry up, and so it doesn't grind against your boxers, and it probably peels and probably smells like shit. It's probably disgusting. No, you're the one whose dick smells like shit because it's tucked away in skin. No, it's not. It never fucking smells, dumbass. That's the way you clean it in the shower. And the only way it starts to smell, which I've never come across that fucking problem, is probably because you're sticking things in there you ain't supposed to. It's foreskin, not a pocket. What are you talking about? Like, I'm just sitting there, oh man, my pockets are full. Where'd I put this sandwich? Well, here we go. Just jam it in my dick. Like, that's not what's going on. You're just mad because sex doesn't feel good, and that's your fucking problem. I moan during sex. I moan loud as fuck, bitch. I start singing in this bitch's ear like I'm Drake. Okay? I don't give a fuck, yo. Because that shit feels fucking good. It feels amazing. And, you'll never know. You'll never know. You can't take it back. You'll never know. So, take that motherfucking L. After that, you get this short film, and it's a weird-ass short film. It's like a bunch of clan members versus villagers, and there's villagers, like, holding their baby, and they're marching in the street, and then there's, like, knights and chivalry and Vikings, and then there's a car crash, and then he starts cracking a whip. Doesn't make any fucking sense. I'm not choosing to explain it in a way it doesn't make sense. You can watch it yourself. I'm telling you, by the time you're done, your brain will be set in backwards. It just doesn't make sense. It's not supposed to make sense because it is garbage. Then after this, you get the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Remember how we were talking about a horse video? This is probably the elephant video people were talking about. And there's this guy who's like in an exhibit, and there's a person recording, right? It's like this. Make sure this person has his eye or her eye on this guy. And while he's sweeping up elephant shit, you can see his head is like right here next to this elephant's ass. And you're like, you know what's going to happen. I was like, yo, this elephant's one step away. And before I can even finish the sentence, one step away, the elephant takes one step backwards. And this guy's entire head goes up this elephant's ass. Entire head. And he's like, and he pushes himself at this elephant's butt. And everybody starts laughing. And I'm under the impression this was on purpose. This had to be on purpose. There's no way that was an accidental schmental. Like, no fucking way. You were right there, and if I'm sweeping something and there's an elephant's ass in a way, guess where I'm not going? Near the elephant's butt. I'm not going there. Why would I go there? But this guy was like inches away from me, and he's like this. I hope nothing bad happens. And just rams his head up there. He's an absolute idiot. After this, we got the next page. You get Jeff the Killer footage. And when I Jeff the Killer, I mean Jeffrey Dahmer. I'm being an idiot. After that, you get more Squirm Fest, where this chick is eating shit off of a floor. So she went from eating maggots to eating worms to eating food with these bugs on her to now just playing a piano. Very good. As British people would say, she's very brilliant. She's brilliant. Brilliant. And brilliant. You knob watcher. What are they? You bellend? You bellend? She's brilliant, you knob watching bellend wanker. I hate that shit. I don't understand, man. I just the other day there's this fucking guy on YouTube where he's like showing people how to eat food. Some British guy, and he's like, "This is how you eat a banana the proper way." And he cuts open the banana like this, and he like opens it up like he's fucking doing surgery on a grape, and starts slicing it like this. And he's like, "How about you just do this? Peel it, banana." What? I just wanted to grab the plate and just fucking just smash in his face, right in his mata la gata. It's just stupid. Why are you trying to act elegant? You think that shit's cute? Like he's unzipping his pants to take a piss. You know this type of guy. This is probably the guy who doesn't pull out his dick to piss. He probably just like peels it through, the little boxer's loop, and he has a button in the front. He unbuttons the little box loop and just peeks his little peter through that hole and pisses in a urinal. He's probably the guy that pisses in a urinal with his ass cheeks out. He's that fucking guy. You can tell, man. Oh my god. And if he farts, he's probably like, "My beddins, I may have tooted. I just wanted to grab a rock and just use it." You know what I'm saying? I couldn't stand that shit. Then you get a compilation of Philip J. Duran or some shit. He's the guy who helped the Columbine guys get their guns. And again, this footage was released 2000 and 23rd of like fucking April or some bullshit like that. But my point is, again, it could not have been released in 1994 when this happened in the year 2000. Plus, the Columbine killers did perform the actions, I believe it was April 20th of 1999. So again, it would have to have come out in the year 2000 and therefore after, yet further proving my point that this was not released in 1994. After that, you get a decomposing mouse and you get an exploding building. Then you get this weird ass shit, which we're going to go over the last of this page right when we come back. So here we are, we're on the last page and we're going to finish up strong. So right here, right where I left off, you get this weird ass BDSM shit again. And it's like this genital bucket stuff and getting whipped and pins and all this other crazy ass shit. Nothing that is justifiable by human nature. Grabbing clothespins and pinning it on the genitals. It's just weird shit. And again, I'm looking forward for this video to drop, just so I can have conversations inside the comment section about people trying to defend this type of behavior. And don't try to defend it just like to troll with me or just to have interaction with me. I will know, because if your profile picture is like some woman with a pierced face, like I mean like piercing, and I'm able to attract your head like with a magnet, you know, the red magnets, then I'll know if you're for real. Because women will try to defend this type of shit, like Cold Raven, you'll never know what real love is like. Well, if getting pins through the testicles is real love, then shit, I want to stay 1,000 miles away from it. I mean, just, unlucky me, guys. It seems like I lost my 4-leaf clover. I'm not so lucky to have a woman grab my balls and yank on it like she's ringing a fucking dinner bell. I'm so sad. What will I ever do? Oh yeah, that's right. Have sex with women who have a brain. Small brain, but it's better than not having one. It's crazy ass shit. I saw a video where there was this woman who was hanging on a dude's balls like this, and her feet were not touching the ground. She was just like this, like a monkey pulling on a rope. Side to side, like a fucking grandfather clock. Pulling on his balls, and he's like, oh God, oh God, oh God. It's weird ass shit, man. That's the type of stuff that turns you on. You got fucking problems. After this, you got the anal birth of Bert, which we're going to talk about it for the billionth, majillionth time. So what happens is you get this rough and tumble, like this Hell's Angels, tough guys. It's tough. What the fuck was that? These tough bikers. And he's like chained up in like one of these swings or whatever. And he's surrounded by all of his friends and family. And they grab a Bert doll and ram it up him. And now he's going to have a procedure in which he'll be pushing it out. And he's like, oh, Doc, my water broke. Oh, my poop broke, I guess. My diarrhea broke. Help me, doctor. And he puts his ear on his stomach and he's like, oh, it's kicking hard. That's a boy. That's a healthy boy right there. Oh, what are you going to name it? Oh, if it comes out in one piece, I might call it David or Bert, because it's Bert from Sesame Street, baby. And he gives birth to Bert. The doctor pulls it out, starts smacking its back. Like, when a baby coughs up, it has what's called baby lungs. You smack his back to get the liquid out of it. And he starts holding it. He's like, oh, thank you, Doc. Oh, thank you. And the guys in the background are clapping like, yeah, next time it's my turn. I want Oscar to grouch up my ass with the garbage can included. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? They're taking turns putting Sesame Street Muppets up their shitholes and then giving birth to them. Like, they're just trying to start a whole entire community with this weird ass thing, man. At this point, it's when I see stuff like this that furries start moving up the totem pole of not so weird. I take that back. Fuck you if you're a furry. Anyway, what happens after this? You get this guy with hot candle wax. He's like pouring it on himself as per usual. Again, weird shit, small dick behavior. You get this guy who has sharp paper clips. And by sharp paper clips, I don't mean the normal paper clips. You know what, the ones with the pin? Oh God, here we go. Take that shit with you on eBay for $3.99. He gets the sharp paper clips, starts piercing himself in the nuts with it. There's that. And then there's this other guy who's getting his back sliced, and he's wearing like a crown of pins, and it's scratching him up. And while this is happening, he's having like just like casual conversation. This guy's like cutting him up, and he's wearing this crown of pins, getting tied up, and he's like, yeah, man, this morning, Mary, she was being a real bitch. Oh, was she really? Yeah, man. She got mad at me. I left the clothes in the dryer again. She threw them on the floor. Would you believe that, bitch? I just washed them. I gotta rewash them. We threw them on the floor. And these guys getting cut up. Again, insane BDSM type of stuff, and they're acting like it's natural. Another guy who nails his penis to a table, grabs a claw side of the hammer, rips it out, and he starts bleeding everywhere as to be expected. Then you get a compilation that lasts only for a few minutes, but for these few minutes, about 100 pictures that are flashing pictures of gore. You get mass graves, crushed heads, autopsies. You get Bud Dwyer. I'm tired of talking about Bud Dwyer. Oh my God. I can't. No more. Oh, I forgot I even wrote this. I wrote this thing like 2 weeks ago. Bud Dwyer. If you don't know what Bud fucking Dwyer is by this point, I don't know what to tell you. I've talked about Bud Dwyer. What, I have 53 to 54 videos now? I would say about 51 of them I've talked about Bud Dwyer, because he's in every mixtape ever. Bud Dwyer. A guy grabs a revolver. He pulls out of an envelope. He shoots himself. Everybody goes crazy. Cameraman's like, oh my God, he just shot himself. Everybody, look. He records the shit. Bud Dwyer, go fuck yourself. My God. Then you get this woman who's queefing out a candle. Yeah, you heard that right. She's queefing out of a candle. She's using a pussy wind to put out a candle. This bitch looks like Stephanie McMahon. Weird ass looking chick, man. Not that Stephanie McMahon looks weird. Stephanie McMahon was somewhat attractive when she was younger, when she was in her 20s. But yeah, she's not exactly all that anymore. She just looks like very rat-faced. But yeah, this woman's queefing out candles. And then you get the last clip, which is like an offensive car salesman. It's very corny. It's like, if you like our competitors, then you can go fuck yourself. You can go fuck yourself. If you don't want to buy our cars, then eat shit and die. Eat shit and die. And if you don't want to come over here to say hello to me, then guess what? Go fuck yourself. It's corny. Not really that funny. And that's the mixtape right there. The sickest video on earth. Now, is it exactly the sickest video on earth? No, not by any stretch of the imagination. Probably when it first came out, it was definitely up there, because again, it was just a compilation of the worst stuff that was readily available at the point. But again, it's just nothing more than a predecessor of Mdpope, most disturbed person on planet Earth. And it just aged horribly, because again, over time, more vile things happen, more humans inhabit the planet, and more humans think of more disgusting ways to be disgusting. And people just have taken things and just Again, it was already too far at first, but then they just go way off the deep end into realms of imagination. Again, this girl was eating a little, like Squirmfresh, she was eating a little cocky. And out of nowhere, you get women that are just gouging out buckets of shit on their head. That would happen 10 to 20 years later, and that would be in mixtapes everywhere. So, and again, people eating little wormy worms, to people just full on getting fucking jiggy with eels and horses as of recent. That. So there's that, man. Is it the worst thing I've ever seen in my... Get off me, dude. This fucking chair. This chair arm keeps catching the bottom of my jersey. I was doing that last video. Fuck, man. Is it the worst thing I've ever seen in my life? No, not by any extent whatsoever. It was a little bit more tame, but I will say this. I will say this much. It was way better than Ogre's collection, because at least it was clips I haven't seen before. It was fresh content, 90% of it. Some of it was similar, some of it was from Fetus Munchers. But again, to be fair, this was before all of that. So you gotta cut it some credit. So in the grand scheme of things, again, I don't like mixtapes whatsoever. I just review them for you guys. That's it, because I love you all. And if I could fucking stick my tongue in your mouth and make your eyes roll back, I would. But my point is, man, it's not that bad. When it comes to a scale of content that is I haven't seen before, and it's not that bad when it comes to disturbing. It's like a 5 to a 6 when it comes to disturbing meter. Nothing too crazy. It's a little bit of everything, but it doesn't go too hard or too far into something. It's nowhere near Mdpope level, but it definitely, I guess, hate to say it, laid down the bricks for shit like that to come out. Lay down the shit bricks, that is. So that's the end of the video. Like, favorite, and share. Most importantly, don't forget to comment and subscribe. I'm your boy Cold Raven. Make sure you check out my Patreon. Again, that helps me out a lot. Early access content, exclusive content, a Discord for patrons. Get to sit around and talk with me. 18 plus, ID verification, all that other stuff. I love each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for supporting the content. And I will catch you next video. If you're chick, flick your bean. If you gotta go jerk your dick. I always forget my own catchphrase at the end, right? I don't know when I came up with that, but when I did, I did. And I'm gonna keep going with it. Peace. Big shout out to all my patrons. From now on, all my patrons will start getting shout outs at the end of my videos. Here's all their names in alphabetical order. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting me so much. And thank you to everybody who is a patron currently and who will be a patron inside the future. Again, there's so many extra things you can get, from Discord to exclusive content to early access. And now shout outs at the end of videos like I used to do all the years back. Now again, just because you're not a patron doesn't make you any less of a supporter. I still love each and every single one of you. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to everybody who watches my videos. If you like, if you subscribe, share my content, I want to say thank you so much. It keeps me going. But here is a special shout out to these individuals right here who really push it. So thank you to everybody for watching my content. Thank you for everybody supporting it. I love each and every single one of you. Bye bye.